much. And so, leading our A-list panel is Kenya Linton. And one of the things that Kenya always says is that sophistication never goes out of style. We welcome Kenya Linton to the stage. Her designs, she wants to make women feel sophisticated and powerful. And of course, we love that. And Kenya will introduce her panel to you.
Thank you, Judith.
Once again, put your hands together for Kenya Linton. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Is it afternoon as yet? No? Morning? Good morning. So our first panelist this morning is Ayana Rivera. Ayana is a stylist, costume professional for film and TV. Our second panelist this morning is Carlton Brown, international menswear designer, designer to the stars in Jamaica. Our third panelist is Nico, bootleg rock star, stylist and creative director. Our next panelist is Ms. Novia McDonald-White, Senior Associate Editor of Lifestyle and Social Content at the Jamaica Observer. And our next panelist is Syntashay Clark, Director of Style File Global and Bridge 99 FM. We will have two special guests due to lack of space. They'll be sitting in the front row and we will throw questions out. And our first special guest is Mateo Harris, jewelry designer of Mateo, New York, Jamaican by heart, at heart, and doing amazing globally. And our next special guest will be here shortly, and you all know her, the angel, Michelle Downer. So let us begin. So today we will cover three main topics. And, we're doing selfies? No? I missed it. Okay. Our first will be the psychology of fashion. The second, branding 101. And third, regional strategy for style. Now, the psychology of fashion for me is very important because it takes only 7 seconds to craft an impression of someone, from your posture, body language, what you're wearing, your hairstyle, accessories. It all contributes to how you're perceived as an individual. And I will quote Professor Karen Pine, who says, the most important decision you may make in the morning might be what to wear. Because at the end of the day, what you wear says so much about you. And make no mistake, from CEO to vagrant, they pay attention to what they wear. And I'll tell you a short story of a vagrant, or in Jamaica we call him a madman, or a homeless person who got clean clothes and decided to give it away instead of keeping it for himself, because he said the clean clothes wouldn't serve him in what he was trying to accomplish. The other vagrants would treat him badly if he was wearing clean clothing, and persons who he would be begging would not give him anything if he's wearing clean clothing. So for him, it served him best to look shabby. So from vagrant to CEO, it doesn't matter. We are cognizant of what we wear and how it helps us. So in the music business, the first factor a label will look at when they sign a new artist is their style and their image. So I'm going to throw out the first question to the panel, and I'll start with Carlton Brown. You're a designer. Tell us, why is style so important? Why is it such an important factor in the music business?
Yeah, good morning again. But first of all, it's I would say it's beyond important, right? Sometimes for me, a lot of people, I just have quite a few artists, right? Both local and international. At the same time, is that sometimes a lot of them just look at the music and say, that is it. So, and half the time, because, in other words, because music playing, Then busting on jeans and t-shirt. And they want to maintain that. Not realizing that, yeah, that's what you're busting at that, your game need to step up. Right? So sometimes that's on me as a designer / the stylist to help bring out that rock star side of them. No pun intended.
Thank you, Novia.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's it? Okay. Novia, can you tell us from your perspective as a media professional, why is style so important in the music business?
Good morning, or is it still good morning, everybody? Thank you very much. I'd like to go back a bit to why, and ask ourselves, I'd like us to ask ourselves this morning, why we in the Caribbean, especially us in Jamaica, are not world leaders in terms of style. We were there. My parents were from that Windrush generation. They went to the UK dapper because leaving Jamaica, they would dress. And as I say, we still dress to go to the bathroom. If you look across to Les Sapeurs, they lead style. They're stylists. They're very stylish, smart, debonair. So what has happened to us? Why we are no longer leaders? Of course, it's important. What we're seeing today, we saw before, right? So the question, my challenge is, why are we not there? And that's what I'd like to ask Carlton. The biggest joy came to me when this one here dressed Sharika for the PSOJ ball the other day. My despair, however, was the effort that he took. The rest of the people there did not take.
Happens all the time.
It happens all the time
All the
because
time.
there's a dress code that we have ignored, and we no longer step out in style. We no longer step out as proud black people.
It's true.
So I could go on, but I want other people to speak.
So we'll move to Branding 101. Nobody's born with style. This is learned through culture and society, whether it's through pop culture, celebrities, the media. An artist should therefore be able to describe themselves in 3 words. It is important to know your brand archetype, brand personality, and be able to communicate this visually. Artists are therefore encouraged to create a signature style that suits their personality and genre. Whether this is punk rock, dancehall, R&B, hip hop, you know what I mean. You know, your genre, you have to have that image. So Ayan, I'm going to ask you the first question about authenticity and consistency. And I'll phrase it this way. What is culturally appropriate styling? And does styling for your genre really matter?
Hello, good morning. So I wouldn't use the word appropriate because, I mean, as a musician, as an artist, you're a creative, so you're free to explore, and you should not necessarily be held in your genre. But I do think, just like the music, what you wear is communicating. It's part of the whole process. So I think, you know, it makes sense to be able to be expressive and push the envelope. Like with dancehall, I think, I guess it would be appropriate to show a little bit more skin, be sexier, but at the same time, I think there's still space for someone to, you know, go completely to another direction and it will still be true to the music, you know? So I would not necessarily say there is a way to be culturally appropriate for Jamaican music, like with reggae or dancehall. I think there's still very much like space to kind of explore there.
Does anyone have anything to add from the panel? Culturally appropriate styling? No? Okay, so our next question, I would... Oh, Novia, you were saying something? Yes.
Perhaps others have taken away our culture to a certain extent. I mean, what you're seeing right now is that, you know, the irony is the world looks to us for what's new, what's different, what's fabulous, what's trendy, what is street, right? So that's the irony. So they look to us for culture.
And with that, I think it does make sense to kind of, for Jamaica, music, language, and style, I think, are the, aside from, tourism, that's what the rest of the world is looking at, So I feel like for musicians, it is an opportunity to kind of like express that Jamaican style more and more. People are looking to see it. So that's where I think staying true to the culture is more ideal than to say culturally appropriate. You know what I mean? Because, oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me? This whole time you weren't hearing me?
Yeah, you're hearing me now. Keep it
Okay,
closer.
sorry. So I was saying, I think staying true to the culture, because what style-wise, Jamaican style is what people love to see, that it would make sense for there to be more attention to developing Jamaican style than to try to reach for mainstream style that you see, like Western style, hip-hop style, that type of thing.
Yeah.
One more thing to add to that, and I suppose I'm to Nico as well, is that I can create a style, he can create one, everybody loves it, but it comes back down to the mass production of that, right? So, I mean, I can do something, he can do something. At the same time, everybody loves it, but how much of it we can produce? You know what I mean? At the same time, you have clients out there, and artists, and I mean, clients overall will pay for that one look, right? But we love a Hollywood pay for, you know what I mean? So let us say he creates a nice dress that, and that one dress on the red carpet, whether it's the Grammys or the Oscars, that one dress will sell and you're good. I mean, out here, you sell that one dress, you need to make like 5 more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So come back down to a manufacturing perspective, where if you create it, how does the mass get it?
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving to our next question. Sintashe, how important is it to convey a why? And I say why, I mean your purpose, the meaning behind what you do. How important is it to convey that in your style, your music, in terms of your brand archetype as an artist? And are fans really even paying attention to this?
Good morning, everyone. And first off, let me say thank you to the Island Music Conference team, Shaggy, Judith, and Sharon, and the powers that be that thought it was important to even have this conversation at a music conference. A lot of times style kind of is a by the way conversation in these spaces, so thank you for that. And the importance of a why, anybody's why, is your North Star, right? That guides you. Now, an artist, and let's take, for instance, a Rihanna. When Rihanna set out, when she left the shores of Barbados, maybe didn't understand what her why was. She wanted to become a star. Maybe that was where she started. But when she got into the industry, she quickly realized that she was carrying Barbados, or the Caribbean island, on her back. So representation was her why, or is her why, a part of her why, right? The same thing with a Shaggy, who, by the way, this is a full circle moment. This is the genesis of my career. I started with Shaggy, Robert Livingston, Paula Ross. I'm not sure if he's in the building. The Hot Shots album was my very first project. Getting exposed to what styling was and how important style was and what it means to show up for a press junket versus a radio interview versus going on tour. All these things are important as it pertains to style and expressing one's self. And that why comes across all of it, right? So once you have an artist who are here that are new to the industry, that why is going to be your guide as you go through your journey. I'm sure if any artist who has made it was here, and I can tell you that why continues to ground them, and no matter if they go off track, they just do some introspection, that why carries them right back to where they need to be. So why is extremely important.
Thank you so much for that. Now, on the theme of being consistent and authentic, Mr. Nico Bootleg Rockstar, how do you convey a consistent image for from stage wear to everyday wear that remains authentic to the genre and persona of your artist?
Hi, everyone. So, first we start with personal style. To be authentic, you have to have personal style. Achieving personal style takes time. We all know that. A lot of trial and error. But to remain consistent, personal style is what you need the most in your kit. As it relates to the genre, honestly, even that the idea of a genre and dressing for a genre is so blurred right now. Because I always say, when I show up, I am the time and the place, whatever I'm wearing. That is the genre. Whatever I'm wearing is the genre because that's my brand. That's who I am. And sometimes genre can really limit how creative we are and can be and can get. So it's good to pay homage to the genre and have little, parts and pieces that salute the culture. But you cannot be limited completely to that. But yeah, having personal style will take you a far way and will make you more memorable and signature. It's very important. Like, everyone knows me for my Converse. I'm not wearing them right now, which is like not a good thing, but you have to have something that is easily identifiable. And then when that becomes identifiable, people identify your music with your style, or your style with your music, and then identify your style and your music with a genre. That's how you create your own template.
Thank you so much. Wow. Novia, do you believe our regional stylists and designers can translate on the international stage with our local artists who break onto the international scene?
It's a difficult question because what is it that you're asking? I mean, the fact is our international stylists and designers are already out there. If you look at Rachel Scott, for example, who has taken our pop-down crochet, that's what we say in Jamaica, and has made it mainstream and is doing very well with it under the label Diotimo. If you look at Mateo, who's sitting in front of us, who has taken jewelry and fashion, if you look at Edwin Thompson, right? If you look at most of our designers who are overseas, Greta Constantine, they have taken their Jamaican psyche and have fed the world, and the world is receptive to them. What we have not done here, and Carlton alluded to it, is that we have not managed to do mass, and the question goes back, is it that we are supposed to do mass? When you say scale up, is it that we are supposed to do mass? Because if we do I go back to Rachel Scott for Diotimo, her crochet line has obviously captured the imagination of major labels. You actually saw Chrissy, her name, in wearing the crochet Chanel suit, right? And that I know has come straight from Rachel Scott, because obviously the big brands, they will look as they do. They look to us to see what's trending, what people are wearing, what's street, what's funky, what's everything. And they take it, and because of their, they've got clout, they've got the financial backing, they are able to get the world to pay attention to them as opposed to you. I want to go back to something that Rico just said. Your brand turning up is important and crafting an image, but nowadays, how are people turning up? If you look at Harry Styles, who's everybody's favorite right now, but Harry Styles is doing what Mick Jagger did, is doing what David Bowie did.
David Bowie did, yeah.
So, it's nothing new. David Bowie, Mick Jagger, they were all influenced by Peter Tosh. Bob Marley, who turned up in his jeans and T-shirt and nobody cared. He certainly didn't care, right? So people will style you. I don't think it really matters that much nowadays, and I say this as one of the more mature people on the panel. It is not as rigid as it was before. You turn up, if you turn up with the right look and sound and everything in your signature, don't worry, your style will impact the world. We as a region have influenced the world. We have done it. We just have to, I think, focus on doing it again.
Very good. And from what you said, I pick up where we do have Jamaican designers who are doing well internationally, and our local artists who, make it onto the scene internationally. I still struggle to see them supporting some of these international designers like a Mateo. I see Mateo dressing Rihanna, Gigi Hadid, all these international celebrities. But when our local artists are on the red carpet, they're not wearing Mateo.
Yes, because our local artists, unfortunately, we don't grab them before they become superstars. Yep. We wait until they become superstars, and then it is too late.
Yep.
True.
It is a harsh reality. When we prepare to look at them, it was lovely having Coffee win the Grammy. When I called Carleen Samuels and asked Carleen who she was wearing, of course we know Tom Brown and we love Tom Brown, but it would have been so much nicer to have heard that she was wearing a local designer.
Absolutely.
The biggest takeaway this year from the Grammys was that Pyramid
Yeah.
was
Kabaga,
wearing
yeah.
a Jamaican
yes,
designer.
Yes.
Funny.
Yes.
He was wearing us. So at that point now, you just need to kind of say, okay, yes, we can. And I really hope he continues to wear a local designer. But it is unfair for our stars to get to where they're going. Obviously, people are looking at them. Somebody's going to take them. Gucci, Prada, Chanel, you name it, they're going to grab them. And then we're going to say, oh, well, they should. Why should they? It's too little, too late. Too little, too late.
Can I just add that I think what we need here in Jamaica and the region is we really need to foster a community around this industry, the fashion and style industry. We need to be having more of these conversations because there are amazing designers here and in the region and in the diaspora that just are not getting the exposure that they need, the access, the resources, and that's an issue. That's why there's a divide, and that's why this conversation is so important. And I hope that this panel and the powers that be here on the island, that we really can move this conversation along, because this is just a starting point. Again, when you have a Nico that can be featured on NBC because of this Vogue challenge, when you see Vogue featuring a Valiant in the magazine, their magazines, or these big industries, mainstreams doing these or wanting to come and feature our local talent, it's too far and wide in between. When we have our own magazines here, we have Backyard magazine, we have a Buzz magazine. Why are we rallying around them and pushing them? We have to start the buzz here. The groundswell has to start from here. You can ask anybody, any artist that is a major, a Shaggy, a Sean Paul. They had to get their numbers first in their grassroots before the outside looked in. So we have to be the change that we want to see.
And can I add, it's hard as an upcoming local creative to get that big shot. What I would love for Jamaican artists who are in spaces of influence and authority and power, even if they don't have that much authority, put somebody's name who's local in the room. Suggest, hey, I know a makeup artist who's a Jamaican or a stylist. Can I use them? I prefer to use them. No, our culture is being seen through the gaze of white people and people from other countries, not Jamaicans. So sometimes when you see, they're trying to go for something dancehall, it don't even look dancehall, they look mental. You get me? So we have to demand, especially artists who are in positions of power and influence, you have to demand Caribbean, Jamaican talent to be on your sets, on your shoots. When I reach for an dash away, You don't have to, like, we understand style as much as people overseas, and I hate to always bring this back to, but the Vogue Challenge have prove that we're just as creative or even more creative than a lot of these overseas people. So it starts with getting the support and stretching that hand down and bringing us up the ladder as well. Because okay, it's good to be in Prada, it's good to be in Chanel, it's good to be in Versace, right? But wouldn't it be better to go viral and slay wearing a local designer? I just want that. That's what I want.
And I'd like to
that's what we all
piggyback
want.
off of that. I think what we end up seeing, a lot of these artists, when they start, they see the talent of the local designers and stylists.
Go ahead.
And they end up developing a beautiful look and feel for the artist. And once they get their break, they think, okay, I have money now, I'm signed to a label, so let me now get a foreign stylist who can get me brand names and like the stuff that everyone else is wearing. When I would love to see those resources now given to the stylists that help them to bring, to build this look with nothing, because usually it's absolutely nothing. Give them the resources, let them design, give them the structure where they can now go to another level. It will serve both them and the artists.
Yeah. I mean,
Thankfully-
Novia said. Novia said something earlier on, right, pertaining to Coffee getting winning a Grammy and stuff. And I can remember I got that phone call for Coffee, and honestly, within less than a week, the Grammy was up, and there she was. Nothing is wrong, but I mean, I've been on the Grammy. I mean, my clothes has been there. Protege, Devin the Doctor. Quite a few, but Itana as well. So when I say Itana, meaning I never dress her, just her husband. There's a reason why I said that. 'Cause, oh, you do women's wear? You do women's wear? No.
You don't do women's wear.
Right? But I've been fortunate enough to have my stuff on the Grammys, my stuff on, on the Oscar carpet and also the BT Awards and stuff. So I know where it's coming from, where Nico is saying the same thing, is that you have to just, once you put it out there, and as she was saying, that it come back down to the artists. Yes, we start them there, as them get the break, them just gone full 100, international brand. You know what I mean? Which is important, because I remember just doing the Buju Banton show the other day, Intimate. I was the one who styled Buju from head to toe, right? Backstage, on stage, receiving that clip.
Loved it.
Respect. Receiving everything. I mean, from Buju look, I'm there, taking it. And that's what it's supposed to be, right? And I remember not only that show, even when his homecoming show, that was me, right? But to show that if an artist wants you to be there for them, you can be there, right? And I remember one artist said, management. No, it starts with you. You know what I mean? The same thing you're saying.
It is.
It starts with you.
But things are changing. I mean, you have to shout out to, Shirley Ralph, who wore a Jamaican, Brandon, for her Grammy, and also she wore Greta Constantine for her for yet another award that she was wearing. So things are changing, and people are pushing themselves out there. But I think, as Nico said, I mean, if people are there on the bottom floor, on the ground level, when you start, it's very, very important that you take them up, take them along the journey with you, because it's not as simple. I can understand why a successful or somebody on the verge would want to use a international stylist as opposed to Nico, unfortunately, because they think that they can get them into certain publications, because don't forget as well that they do have relationships as well. With with PR people, etc., etc. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know how it goes already. But I think the change is coming. The change is coming. You can see the change, and I think more local designers will get the opportunity to dress our regional stars.
And that's one of the reasons why I respect Usain Bolt to this day.
Thank you. All his ads are done in Jamaica.
To this day. And let me tell you why. The first time I just Usain, the first time I just him is on the younger side. I remember when everything started, I got the phone call. Bossy, you me are using now. I said, huh? And then before I know it, every event Usain was going, that was me. Apart from everything is, for everything is contracts and stuff and different brands. But once it touch on to doing, commercials and certain things, I get those phone calls. You know what I mean? Even though sometimes the calls come in, I need this 4 days, but it has to be done. But I get it done. You know what I mean? So you have to give props to him, and not only you him, but there's a lot of artists who say yes. They work with you, they work with Nico, they do it. You know what I mean? But sometimes, to be honest with you, for some of them, once that flight take off, you know what I mean? I just saw it again, now I'll look back. You know what I mean? So for this, it's just, the bottom line is just do your work and do it good. And what's important, seeing something on a mannequin or seeing it on a runway is totally different from seeing it in person and touching it. And I say that to a lot of designers all the time. Finish is key. Key. It could have looked good way down the road, because you have to do that. You have to touch it, you have to feel it, you have to see it up close. And that's when you know that there's a difference in terms of quality and standard.
One last thing. Let me squeeze this in.
It sounds like a good question. It's never ending.
I'm sorry. Artists, when local people try to take you outside the box, it's
Lord.
always an issue. When them go foreign, them in a all umbrella upon them head.
There you go.
Locally, we try our best. We send ideas. We do every single thing. We try to put them outside of their comfort zones. Yeah. When we try that, no, nobody laugh at me, this and that. But you rather go on a Grammy red carpet or somewhere else and look like an idiot. Like, give us the opportunity to show what we really can do.
True.
And do not wait until you reach overseas, because you just feel like, oh, I'm here, so I have to just work with them myself because I'm afraid I'm not some back coming yard. But because we're very talented, we don't always want to put you in a mesh marina and shots. We have ideas.
Hi, Nico. Hi, everybody. I know I'm late. I want to apologize for that. I'm seated here. I'd rather to sit there even right there, so. I'm fine with that.
You're with Mateo. Both of you are our special guests sitting right.
Usually I'm not late. But I want to just add to what Nico says. You can put me in a scandal bag and I'm ready. I take risk.
We know that.
As an artist.
Period.
You understand? And I'm willing to let designers show their talent through me as a model as well. So I'm all about that. So I can say I'm bringing my fashion and the designer's fashion through my image, and we take risk and make it happen at any time, any day. I'll never rain with the shoot. Cold,
that's true.
sun or shine. Yes.
That's true.
Yes. D'Angel, actually, I had a question for you. My next question was actually going to be directed to you, so you preempted me. So I know you just launched a lingerie line, and you've been an artist who you have been consistent over the years in terms of your style, your image, your music, and it's authentic, I would say.
Yes, thank
I
you.
want you to tell us, what made you decide to launch a lingerie line? We kind of figure, but I want you to tell us in your own words why you decided to launch a lingerie line and what we can expect from that.
Okay, the lingerie line came from a series of things, and I'm gonna be real and authentic about it. Whenever I post sexy pictures, it goes viral. And I'm natural. I don't do anything to my body. And a lot of women, they're not feeling confident, about themselves and body areas and all these things. So I said, you know what? Let me carry a lingerie line that really embraces women of all shapes, sizes, and, kind of build on their confidence. That's why I brought out the Exposed lingerie line. It caters for every woman, style, shape, figure, body, confidence, because I exude confidence in women. So, that's why I decided to just do the lingerie line, so women can finally feel comfortable about themselves. And a lot of the lingerie is sexy, a lot of them are conservative, so it's for all women, depending on your personality.
Very good. Thank you so much. And Mateo, from Mateo, New York. Fashion collaborations. This is my question to you, and I'm sure you have a mic. Fashion collaborations and endorsement deals. Hugely important, and has been shifting a number of artists from millionaires to billionaires. And we see how important fashion is when you merge that with music and being a celebrity. When you look at collaborations like Travis Scott and Nike, Rihanna and Manola Blahnik, you look at Alkaline and Givenchy, you look at Nicki Minaj and Fendi, Coffee with Calvin Klein, H&M, and now Alexander McQueen. There's so many I could list. But there are different collaborations, endorsements, and so forth in terms of artists just doing anything with fashion. How do you think we can create more opportunities for our artists and our designers here to get more international collaborations and endorsements?
Hello, everyone. Mateo here. I'm going to speak from just personal experience. Last year, we did a collaboration with Macy's. I designed 3 collections for them. And I met Duran, who was at Macy's for 23 years. And that man saw me probably twice in 10 years, but I left an impact on him. Why? I think I have always had a precise brand strategy for myself. So my product, which is me, I always show up in black. Even at the beach here in Jamaica, I'm in black. Like my branding is very precise, it's very clear. So I think, number one, have a brand strategy. Make sure the product is fantastic. If you're going to pump gas at the gas station, you should be on, because you never know who's out there. Cannot stress that enough. Haven't seen Duran in about 10 years, walking in Soho, and he had, I did the Macy's Fashion Fund. Long story short, he saw me on the street, again, in my full black drag. The man sent me a contract the next day. He was like, you were literally on my mind.
Which is a big deal.
Big deal. Thank you. So, number one, have a clear and precise message. Cannot stress it. If you're selling sex, it has to be sex. You can't give me the girl next door another day. I need sex. You have to communicate clearly with your audience. It's super, super important. If you're giving me the girl next door, if you're giving me a wholesome family vibe, the message just has to be clear. We have seen so many artists fail because they're going from Disney princess to then sex. Like, it really throws off the audience, and you're trying to sell at the end of the day. Every brand is looking for sales. You can be fabulous. It all comes down to the numbers. So number two, you have to merge art with commerce. I don't care what you're doing. Think about the money first. Again, a little black boy from Mobay sold quite a bit of shoes and handbags at Macy's because my message was clear and we built an audience. So number two, learn to mix art with commerce. Very, very important. You can be as talented till Jesus come down. You have to be able to sell at the end of the day. Number three, just be nice. And then be ready. It's super, super, super important to be nice. I cannot stress it. And I'm not the nicest person.
Yes.
But I have always carried myself or conduct myself in a very lovely way. Why? Because you never know when you're going to run back into someone. And a lot of the collaborations I have had is because someone remembered that I was nice to them.
Yes.
So I cannot stress it. And as artists tend to get into their egos, and I've worked with some in LA when I lived in LA, I've worked with a few people who I would never work with again. Why? The ego just, it disgusted me where I couldn't even see the talent anymore. So I cannot stress it. Be nice to everyone because you don't know who people are. Okay? What else can I say about getting endorsement?
And collaborations.
On collaborations. Have a strategic plan with your social media presence. Very, very important because it is so relevant today. TikTok has made people millions of dollars. Instagram has also done fantastic for a lot of artists and designers as well. So just make sure your social media presence is fantastic. Again, all goes back to being consistent and persistent and authentic with your brand. If you're selling sex, I want sex on your Instagram. If you're selling the girl next door, super important. And I think, yeah, that's it. That's how I've done it. And I hope
I'd like to ask.
you guys digested all of that.
Mateo,
That was very good.
Mateo, let me ask you this, because this seems to be a stumbling block. Okay, all of the above, and obviously, at the end of the day, you want to make money, but how do you know how much to ask for? Because that seems to always be
So
the elephant in the room.
my last little note here, it says, be ready and have a team. You always need to read the contracts, and don't be shy. My mom always says to me, they can only say no. So with me, for example, with Macy's, they came with me with a figure, and I said, absolutely not. I said, I can't even buy a bag.
Right.
Don't be shy and ask, because it's a negotiation, always. And also just build a team. Sometimes it's not good when you as the artist is asking for the money. So for myself, I have a PR rep who literally comes in and Absolutely not. Mateo deserves more. So build a team. Cannot stress that enough. A lot of artists, they get to the next level and they're at a standstill because they don't have a team. You can't do this alone. Very, very important to have a bulldog in your corner to really just go in and say, I want this, these are the terms, let's sign off. So, as to how much to ask, I have my own rate. I can't say, but it's definitely over 100K US if I'm gonna do a collaboration, or else I just don't do it. I have my family to take care of and myself, so. You also know your worth. The Instagram and all these platforms, they have analytics. Read your analytics. Yep. I mean, every Sunday I check every Shopify data that I have. I check every Instagram info. You know how many followers you also have. You just have to monetize it. So check the data and come up with a figure because you have proof in all that data.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much, Mateo.
You're welcome.
Bootleg rock star. My next question is to you. So Vogue magazine recently named Valiant as one of the top musicians to take over 2023. And we see where Vogue also mentioned Spice years ago as, you know, the fashion-forward queen of the dance hall. How do we use these endorsements that we get internationally to further highlight the style and the level of development in the industry in Jamaica?
One, use local people. So when your feature is being published or being posted, there are Jamaicans, Caribbean people involved in what you're doing. That's one. For themselves, that's a tricky one because sometimes an article just saying this person is up and coming is not always that big of a push, but just having behind your name that you were featured in Vogue is good enough on paper, and like just for like other stuff and people trying to introduce you, that's really, really good. But most importantly, if you want to promote fashion in Jamaica, demand that there are local talent and designers and pieces and products on set. So when that is published, the talent or the people you collab with or use, the local designers, can have a piece of the pie to post and say, hey, I've been in this, I've been featured in that, because that really does help. When people introduce you like, yo, this person was featured in this, that, people look at you differently. Optics are important. People forget that optics are very, very important. We have titulous titles, yes, people do have that, titles that don't make sense, but it does have a little razzle-dazzle to certain stuff. But for me, it's all, like, I love, and everyone who has worked with me can say this and attest to this, I love using local designers. If I say the same thing at the store, I'd rather go to a designer and have them make that exact same thing so I can say it was made by a Jamaican designer. And even, again, I hate to talk about this, but... Huh?
You mean
it's not a knockoff, it's a knock
as inspiration.
It's a knock up because we made that 10 times better. Not a knock off. Let's be clear. But, and I felt so proud, again, back to the Vogue Challenge. Every single photo and every single clothing in that, I'm so extra, I'm an Aries, guys. I did cover for every single month. I did 12 covers, and every single cover is shot by a Jamaican photographer. The model is wearing a Jamaican designer, and the model is Jamaican. Like, every single thing was completely Jamaican. Every single thing. So that made me very, very proud. Like,
okay, nice.
To see that being dispensed into the world on such a big level, and knowing that it was. And also, I didn't put Vogue US. I clearly put Vogue Jamaica, so they know.
Fantastic. And you know, and you say about, you know, choosing local. Sometimes people will say they don't know where to find the designers. They don't know.
Lazy.
Yes. The reality is not all the designers have a storefront or are available in a department store here. But we are essentially still easy to find. If you type in a name or you go to a stylist, they'll be able to give you a list. Even the Designers Guild,
Get
we have
with
a
the times,
database with
girl.
over
Get
a
on
list with
Instagram.
over 100 designers from Jamaica. So they're out there. You can get the information, but people are quick to just say, if I can't walk in a store and just pick it up, I can't bother.
And they're very
I
threatened
think-
and intimidated by thinking that we're very expensive most times. And most times we aren't, to be honest. I mean, look a bit pricey sometimes, you know. But not every single time. Like it's a negotiate. Like Matthew said, negotiate. Like you can go to a designer and say, this is what I want. This is, especially as an artist, do not feel intimidated to approach a designer or a stylist. We can work something out.
I think also, and by the way, I was one of his models for that challenge. But I think this, again, goes back to fostering a community around stylists, around the industry, right? So that when persons that, because we do want the Vogues, we do want the mainstream label industries, whether it be music, fashion, film, to come over. But we need to put this together for us. I need to be able to say, okay, Nico, get me a photographer. Where's the makeup artist? There needs to be a yellow pages or a black book where I can say to a whoever, an Essence magazine or an Ebony magazine who's in the house, hey boo, that this is who you need to use. You know, we don't need to bring in anyone because we have everybody here, and the sooner that we can work together, we talk about collaboration and connection, we have to collaborate with each other first. Hands
Producers,
down, point
local
blank.
shoot producers, listen up.
Okay, we have to work with each other first. I have to work with D'Angel. I have to work with a Naomi Coleman. I have to make sure that Ayana is styling whoever, you know. And we have to uplift ourselves first. We have to create the groundswell here first before we look outside. We have a lot of work to do here, boots on ground. Kenya, I know this is something that you have been trying to do for a while. There's quite a few people. Novi, I'm sure in your space you have been trying to do as well. But we really need a collective where we can come together, sit down, have monthly meetings where we say, all right, this is what our issues are. Access to funding, infrastructure. Where can someone go and find fabrics? Where can we go and where can I find a great seamstress? What about the equipment that is needed? That's what Jamaica needs. Not Jamaica, the region, because this is an island music conference, and I speak as a Bajan as well, that we together as a region, we need to come together and do better for ourselves before we look outside.
I think
That is true.
I just want to add that the region, there have been opportunities for the region to come together, and the region certainly has come together. We have several missed opportunities in terms of that, but there's nothing wrong with starting again. But
Yeah, and
You know,
look, let's
because
not even
the-
say
if you
start,
look
just
at-
continue the conversation.
exactly, because if from the region, if you look at the designers from the region, oftentimes they are far superior to what you see internationally.
Oh, yeah.
From Barbados, from Trinidad, definitely. I think in terms of Jamaica, our designers must stop. Everybody cannot wake up and become a designer. There's nothing wrong
Praise
with
Jesus.
being a seamstress.
Yeah.
Because the best designers, if you have a good seamstress, you're good to go. Because whatever you buy overseas, if you don't have a good seamstress to fix it together.
Yeah.
Hello, Carlton.
Yeah.
Designer. It's not going to sit properly on you. I think as well that our seamstresses must make themselves more marketable, have an association of excellent seamstresses. Notice I'm stressing seamstresses and not designers, because you can make more money any day of the week. Any day of the week.
That also sounds like we need education, though, too, right? We need to be in
But
the
before-
schools
Ayana,
and,
before
and
you
saying,
jump in, Ayana.
and you know,
You are
meeting with the
spot
high
on.
schools and the colleges,
Spot
college
on.
persons to say, listen, there's viable industry
Spot
here.
on.
You can make a living being a seamstress. You can make a living being a stylist, an art director, but we just don't know. I come from a household
doctor.
where it's lawyer doctor.
Lawyer, doctor.
That's it. The minute I
And
said
it
I'm
hasn't
going
changed.
to right. The minute I said I'm leaving my New York job, my job where I had health and everything to go work for Shaggy, my mother said, "What? Wait, you doing what?" No, but we need to be educating our children, our youth right now that there is money to be made in these industries, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Shay, you mentioned earlier about, having a database and so forth, but the Designers Guild, we just teamed up with JBDC. So as you said about seamstresses and needing seamstresses, we do have a shortage in Jamaica of seamstresses right now, and we're launching a program in April, a training program with JBDC and the
great.
Designers Guild. And the Designers
This is great.
Guild...
Yes, let's applause that. This is what's
Yes.
needed.
It is absolutely needed. And there are people out there who want the training, but some of them can't afford it. So you have the University of Technology has a program, Edna Manley has a program, Garmex has a sewing program, but some people can't afford it. So
And maybe this is where we go to the PSOJ and say, hey, guys, or
Yes,
the
so
private
we
sector,
have-
let's get some internships.
So several years ago, the Designers Guild announced a free training program, and we had over 300 people signed up. We couldn't afford to train them all, and now we're teaming up with JBDC to train all those people. So within a year or two, we should have a flood in the market of seamstresses. And all of this information will be updated on the Designers Guild website. It's the designersguildjamaica.org. And we have a list of designers, seamstresses, all different industry professionals that you can find on the website. So we have one more question, and then I have a wrap-up question for the entire panel. So my last question is to Ayana before we get to the wrap-up question. Ayana, this one is about the label whores and the brand mascots. Now, you will get attention when you're wearing designer head to toe. But I would say, and you can correct me, authenticity reaches the core. How do we help to create a balance with our artists?
I want to say something in addition to what Nico said before. I don't want to forget it. I'll get back to that question.
No problem.
One thing I really would like to see, because at the end of the day, in the music industry, for us, the artists are the ones with the power. A lot of them do wear local designers,
Yes.
and they don't tag them. They don't give them the credit when they do post videos. They do shoots, and people are in the comments, I love that dress. Where did you get it?
Yeah, you have to be
Silence.
begging for that. Yeah, you have to begging for that notary.
And they tell you all the
And
time, but the
exactly.
designer's not gifting any clothes to the
Exactly.
celebrities.
Every week, most times.
I gift clothes to so many celebrities, and when they wear it, they don't even
And they
call your
don't.
name. They don't
Well,
tag you. They don't.
I do. I wish I was on the
Danger,
panel.
we're not talking about
Angela,
you.
go tag, you know.
You are
True,
on
Angela,
another
go tag.
level.
I pick up my local designers
Facts.
right through.
All the time.
Pebbles King, Kenya Linson.
All the time. And this is Pebbles right
Nico.
here. Fantastic.
Carlton, big them up all the time. I embrace local designers, local fashion houses, local makeup artists, everybody local. I'm all about that. Building brand Jamaica and taking it to, the universe.
I
So the
figure
thing
that,
said.
yeah, true, true.
Yeah.
We're not dropping a word for you.
Me know, but make sure I talk. Make sure.
And getting back to the question, as Nico said, they will tag a Gucci, a Louis Vuitton, like
Because they want the endorsement of the big
Right.
brand.
And then
They
not getting
genuinely
enough them
think-
just.
They want
think-
about hype. They're not getting no
It's about hype. It's
They
not
don't
about
have the
it's
look.
just
They're not
hype.
getting it.
that translates as better.
Sorry.
It's as simple as
Okay.
that. And I think with the question, I get that you're wearing like a full designer thing. Everyone, it's clear to everyone that you spent money, like money was spent. I have money now, but I think it takes away from your brand, something that you've built with your music, and then it's a homogeneous look that you now place yourself in. I think you actually it diminishes what you're building. If you're interested in style and communicating your music through your style, I think you're actually taking it away if you're just, this is the whole kit that everyone's wearing from Gucci, I'm going to now get that, So I think it's nice to have nice things and expensive things, but I think separate from that, it does not add to your brand, necessarily, in my opinion.
And also, it's all about styling. How you put those brands together to showcase your personal style and personal identity and brand. So you can wear the Gucci and Louis Vuittons, but customize it in a way where it's like, okay, I see what he did there, or what she did there.
Totally
Right, because
different.
there's great design that goes into what these people make. So you have a piece here and there, but just having the full kit from the season that everyone is wearing, or the
Uniform.
it's a uniform, and it doesn't really communicate anything outside of I was able to pay for this or they gifted me this, you know?
And I find what musicians will realize when they do travel internationally and they're on the international scene, when you are wearing something that is different, it is a better conversation starter than if somebody and you know the same Balenciaga and the same Gucci, the same Louis Vuitton, they're going to look and say, I wonder where I'm buying for you or not, you know? No, if you're wearing Clarks and everybody wearing Gucci, so then we say, yo, your shoes bad, where you get that, you know? And Cartel, you can sing Cartel song and explain to them about Clarks. But like when you look at our protege, he's been wearing Clarks forever, have the endorsement with Clarks, and when he's on the international stage, he's still wearing Clarks. He's not switching. You know, he's authentic. He's staying
Can
consistent.
I just throw this in real quick? Protege is a perfect example of personal style. He shows up everywhere, every single time, looking like himself in different versions. He is the king of personal style locally.
I want to
It's funny,
add,
wait, quick.
I wanna-
It's funny you said that. When I dressed Protege for the Grammys, I got a pair of Clarks to work from. And that's what I did.
Wow. That's the inspiration.
Just like that.
Love it.
So I want to say, Protege, everyone's talking about.
Who,
him, but
Ayana
I
Styles,
met-
by the way.
He's, but I met the style editor for GQ in December. He went to my Instagram, and the first thing he said is, I love the suits you make for Protege. He's like, they're amazing.
Locally made.
Literally locally made, local seamstress, and he's very open to that, and it communicates. And he's not even doing that much. He has a style, he has a look, and I mean, you know, it comes through in the different
effortless.
colors, and it's very effortless, and that a lot of the times
Translates.
it's more valuable than all the extra effort that one would put into their style.
All right, so for our closing question, I'm going to start with D'Angel and we'll work our way around. And I just want to ask all the panelists to just tell me in your own words, what are some steps you think, or what would you recommend that could further impact the music and the business of fashion in terms of, you know, getting more of a synergy?
Okay, I would say just be your own self and create your own style that will be very distinctive. So when you step in a space, they know that an artist is here, you know? Don't just carry yourself in any whole way. You understand? So you have to just be authentic and be your own self. And people will definitely resonate to that. And don't let anybody beat you down. Because I've worn stuff before and persons laugh at it. And I'm saying, but if it's not... fashion has to be crazy sometimes, or persons actually, because if it's not crazy, sometimes it won't even get any clout or any recognition. It can't be a simple thing. You have to add something to it. So just be your own style and don't let anybody beat you down when you step out and you want to be creative and you want to step outside the box. You understand? Yeah, so that is just my little 2 cents right there. Just be your own self.
Matteo, what would you say are the steps you'd recommend for greater impact in terms of music and the business of fashion in the region?
Be clear with the image, build a team, and just be nice. It's really that
I
simple.
like that. Just be nice.
No, you laugh, but I'm not even joking.
I know you're not.
For me, it would be education, collaboration, connection, community. I think that's the running thread for me. You know, those are the things that I would I want to champion. I will be championing in this space for the business of fashion and the business of music and the synergy that we can form with it.
Look in, be crystal clear, and connect with the world.
Infrastructures, education, every single thing Sim said.
Just to say it in your words.
Everything she said and more. But let me tell you why I said that is that because it's a trickle-down effect, right? It's too often you have, let us say, you know, I have Nico as a, you say, boy, I want to learn the thing and come around me. And him so two outfit, it's nice, him gone. It might be designer and star. And I understand there's the back end to that.
Yes.
Right? And the back end is making something and producing that thing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the same way. Right? That's consistency. Right? And that's what we find there's a big problem in just Etora. But education is key. Right? Knowing your craft is so also important. right, and understanding the craft. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, whether it's a corporate entertainment, whichever, will come to you, they come to you with a blank canvas, right? You have to take out your paintbrush and do the rest on that, so they can see it, like it, and appreciate it, and wear it. So know your craft. Educate.
I would say what
Everything.
she said, and genuinely, I think community is what we need more of. I think like just teamwork. The talent is already there. I think if we can just have people, hold on to the ones around them that they are in sync with, and kind of go the whole way.
And teach what you know. Don't keep all...
mentorship is so key.
Yeah, it's so important. Like, take on assistance every now and then. Teach people. Stop bad mind and stop greedy. Teach people.
Thank you so much. And we're going to open the floor to questions now. We're doing good for time, I see.
scared.
Very good for time. I see fashion, we're off the chain with this. We're like so on point. And Maria King Pebbles, I want to thank you again for the beautiful dresses that are flanking the stage. And Carlton Brown for that fantastic suit. I've gotten 2 orders for the suit so far. I'm taking commission, Carlton. Anybody else want to order, you come through me, okay? And Pebbles, come through me for the gowns, the red carpet. She can do a red carpet gown in 24 hours. Yes. She was on Mission Catwalk. She did a dress in 8 hours. So if you have an event to go to and you want a wicked dress overnight, call Pebbles. Sorry, Pebbles, I'm getting in problem now. Yeah, you can't get anything from overseas on Amazon so quick. Next day. Okay, we're gonna open to questions.
Hi everyone. Feel so nervous. Big fan of Bootleg. He invited me and I get to meet him in person finally. So yeah, and I do know all of you on the panel, just to say that. All right, Trudy Ann Campbell, soon to be Mrs. Orain, yes. Just got engaged. All right, so
congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. All right, so I am representing, I wrote it down because I don't know why I'm shaking. I'm so nervous. I don't know
No, it's
why.
okay. Relax. We're all family here.
All right, so I'm representing the Yellow Pages. I actually had an outfit picked out to try and woo Bootleg, but I got scared. I didn't bother wear it. Because, I was looking online to see what everybody was wearing here, and I saw everybody was all
They weren't
dressed
coming to the
up.
fashion panel, darling.
Yeah, they were
You should have dressed.
comfortable, so I dressed down. I didn't want to overdress.
But you still look
You're
fabulous.
still cute. You're still
You
cute.
still look cute.
All right, so I'm representing the Yellow Pages. I work at Yellow Media, the premier Google partner here in the Caribbean. And our head office is at 48 Constant Spring Road. Right?
Oh, wow.
All right, so we feature local, right? We know local, and you can check out our Instagram page to see said content, as well as follow us on Find Yellow online. All right. So, Miss, I hope I pronounced your name properly, because that's very important to me. My name is Trudy with an I, not a Y. Miss Sintashe.
Sintashe.
Forgive me, please. Clark.
That's okay.
Thank you for highlighting that. The platform for local designers. That's something that Yellow is very big on. So as I said, you can check that out on our Instagram page and our magazine page on Yellow. Mr. Novia has said that we are leaders in style, and I can't agree furthermore from the truth. However, something that's a pet peeve of mine is I think we can agree that Jamaica has a uniform culture. Everybody wants to be in the same thing. For example, forgive me, with the men, it's now polo, Psycho Bunny, whatever is trending, right? Or even knockoff high-end brands like Louis, Gucci, and so on. I've been watching Bootleg for a long time on Instagram. He is very authentic, and he has been pushing boundaries, giving creativity locally on a whole different level, and that's a big thing, right? We have become very hesitant here in Jamaica to express ourselves. I personally am like that. I think we don't know our style. we don't know our body type. Miss Novi, I think you just spoke to the fittings, like, you know, the seamstresses and tailoring. That's very important. I personally am at a point where I would like to not be in the same style someone else is in, but I also want to be in what I see online and not knock it off, but knock it up, right? And I'm really trying to step out of my comfort zone. For example, I used to wear a lot of browns, tans, black, white, and I'm trying to wear more colors. And just to wrap it up, so it's not a question, I'm just sharing my sentiments, right? We need to get back to our roots and understand that as Jamaicans, internationally, we are being copied, which we all know, and are rooted for. And we need to get back to our roots. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Trudy. And Trudy, with an I, you can certainly, we can have a conversation, and I'm sure of everybody up here, we can talk to you about helping you find your personal style, because it's something that would need to be crafted. So I have no problem sitting with you to help you craft just that.
And
There's
thank you,
a mic
Trudy.
roaming. So just raise your hand and one of the floor managers or the
Me,
stage manager
hi.
will come to you.
Everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christina Gonzalez, aka Chris Corio. I had a question specifically inspired by Mateo. Mateo, you hearing me?
Mateo,
Yeah,
could you
so-
stand when you're answering, please?
So really and truly, anybody on the panel can answer the question, but it was inspired by Mateo. So Mateo, my question is, can you describe for me the process for coming to a personal style or signature look, so that even if a person such as myself, who's a dance artist and fitness enthusiast, it will still scream Christina, it will still scream you, even if you're wearing Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Kenya Linton, what is the process that you look into?
Should I really stand?
Yes, look.
Yes, it's a
Yes.
look, it's a look.
Static for us, please.
So for me, when it comes down to style, it has to be comfort first. God, I'm nervous. So for me, style has to be very comfortable. If it's not comfortable, I'm not going to wear it, because I never want to step out and just, can't wait to just grab the garment off. I'm wearing Issey Miyake, and in the summer, this is all I wear. Just be true to yourself. Again, super important. I never want to look like anybody else, because I love myself. So just be truly authentic with yourself. Shop within your means. When I was younger, I used to wear so much Rick Owens and all that nonsense, spending like crazy amounts on jackets that I trashed. The Real came and cleaned my closet out. Why? It wasn't me. So be authentic. Shop at your price point. So no fakes. And also just ask yourself, what message am I trying to portray in the world? And these are the things that I say to myself. What am I giving today? Good enough of an answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Also, experiment. Don't be scared to go in your closet and try on some stuff that you thought wouldn't work. But like as Carlton said, things look different on mannequins and on photos. You have to go in your closet, find some time, and experiment. It's very important. Stop wearing the same red blouse with the same black pants every single week. Put it with a polka dot, put it with something of a different shape or silhouette. Try and experiment, and you'll be surprised.
We're gonna
But
fight.
you'll
We're gonna
also
fight.
find Nico, you will also find, Nico, that not everybody, so a lot of people get anxiety around putting looks together, right? Not everybody can do what you do. So it's really is sitting down, trying to, figure out, as Antea said, who you want to be. When you step out in the world, who do you want the world to perceive you to be, right? What sparks joy for you? Look at the inspirations, create mood boards. What are your favorite colors? Do you like prints? Do you
Your
like
style
neutrals?
icons.
Get icons. What different genres or eras do you love? It really takes time to craft it. Again, Style File Global. You can holler at your girl. I'll help you out.
One thing, sorry. I have a Pinterest for everything. So
Yes,
I
yes,
literally
yes.
have charts upon
Pinterest,
charts
yes.
of what I am inspired by, and I go back and I look
Yes,
at it
yes,
every
yes, yes, yes.
day when I'm in my closet, although it's always black.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Afternoon.
Kina, thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. My name is Earl Williams, and I'm from Earl's Fashion in Montego Bay. Right. Big up, big up, big up. Right. Yeah, man. I must say, apart from church, there's no other better place to be than here this morning.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
I went to church this morning, by the way.
Okay, because you know I have to travel from Montego Bay, so I couldn't get to go to church this morning. But I must tell you, the panel is awesome. Awesome. It's like you guys are hitting it, the hammer directly on the nail and highlighting the problems that we as designer here in Jamaica is having, right? And I must tell you, for me, I'm from Westmoreland. In 1994, I went to Montego Bay to set up my operation because I think Westmoreland could not carry my style, the quality of work that I produce. So I went into Montego Bay, and I've been in Montego Bay from then until now. Okay. One of the problems I have here, even in Montego Bay now, as a designer in Montego Bay, I have to now thinking of moving, setting up a location here in Kingston. Let me say, no threat to my fellow designers, but I must say...
There's room.
Okay.
Always room.
Okay.
There's room for
Yeah,
everybody.
yes. So Earl Williams will be in Kingston
That's fantastic.
as of March of this year.
Yeah.
I will be located at 4 Springvale Avenue, right in front of Shack and Vibes Studio.
All right.
Yeah, so the great Earl Williams. And as you can see, all of you, this is my signature style. And as I said, when you, as
Mateo.
Mateo
Mateo.
yes, says, when you have to know your style, and you have to stick with it, you know? And I must say, the support as Sinach.
I just call her Sin. S-Y-N.
Say sin.
Yeah. Believe me, that's what you speak about. Trust me, we need that. We need collaboration because you see, a lot of times people don't understand. I can tell you, I have done shows abroad. I've done shows in Atlanta, shows in New York, right? Fashion shows. And when I take my stuff there, right, other designers who are in the room with me have to say, man, you are the one who really do those things. You understand me? So Jamaicans, we're a very creative one, and our stuff is very authentic.
We make
You understand
sense.
me? Person, designers in New York calls me, and even local designer here. I dress them when they are going to various events abroad. But as Kina said, sometimes people not call their name and stuff. You understand me? Them lock you, them shut you down. As a designer, them shut you down. So therefore, we have to find a way how we can collaborate, because collaboration is the key. We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. We cannot, and as my friend Nico says, we're too selfish. We're too selfish. We're Jamaican, too selfish sometimes. And we don't want to talk to a call time because we do. Why? Why don't want to do that? We can't. We have to live up now. It's civilized time. I remember starting out. I remember when I started out, and quickly I had to hide. I was afraid to tell the tailor. I go beside and said, I may hide. I'll learn how to put in pocket. Learn how to put in zip. I was afraid to say I want to learn the trade until I've been to 2 different schools, got a diploma in fashion designing, all right? And here I am now. So, you know, as we go along, let us collaborate and make it work, because fashion industry is a big industry and it's a very expensive venture because it costs a lot of money for machinery. Probably Carlton Brown can attest to that, because we will do our research, and Eva Kina, you can attest to that. For a well-packaged machine, it's like $30,000 and it just can only do the welt. You know, for a machine to put in the zipper loan is a lot of money, and you have a pant and you need at least 4 different type of machine, specialized machine, to do that one pants. And it's very expensive. And again, I must also say, we have to know our worth. Because a lot of times, persons who come to spend money with us just look at us and feel that, hey, man, you just, as I say, they doesn't know the beginning, they only see the end. And they only come and see the finished product and say, okay, I can just pay you any or anything. No, it doesn't go like that. We have to know our word, and we have to stand by it. All right? Thank you. Thank you again, Keena. Thank you, everyone.
Keena, I want to interject on something, and I really want to stand on this. I'm sorry. I really want to stand on this one and get some spotlight right here.
Yes, okay.
Yes, Novi, yes, I want to stand on this. Woo! I really want to. Anyways, I'm oftentimes bashed for my personal styling. Hi. It's identifying your personal styling as, what's your name again? Matt would say, and everyone is on the panel, right? Sometimes I am multifaceted. So I'm blessed with talents, and you have to blame God for that. You can't blame me. I'm a model, I'm an artist, I'm an actress, and I'm also a philanthropist. So sometimes I step out in different looks, and I still carry it to be my own styling. So persons will bash me for different reasons, and I'm saying, pick your side. If you like the artist, work with that. If you like the model, I'll be sexy. If I want to, I can show legs, because I won best legs in Miss Jamaica fashion model pageant a couple of years ago. Yes, so I'll definitely show the foot. Yeah, you can't take that from me. And I'll be fierce, and I'll stand out, and I care zero. Sometimes I'll step out as the mother, and I look the part. I step out as the artist, I look the part. I step out as the actress, the artist, whatever it is, because as an artist, if I don't feel comfortable, I can't perform good. So I have to wear my best, and finishing is good. So I don't run to every designer, because when my clothes go bust out upon me and tear out. Pebbles King, I run to, or I run to Kenya, I shout out Buleg more time for style me, and the list goes on and on. You understand? So you have to identify your personal style, and I'm multifaceted. So sometimes I step out in different lights, in different looks that represent who I am, because I'm just multi-talented and I can't do nothing about it. So pick a side. If you like the model, take her. If you like the artist, take her. If you like the philanthropist, take her. If you like the mother, take her. But I represent everything, so you have to accept what I bring to the table, or just leave me alone.
And don't,
fabulous. Strut it first, strut it.
And
yes.
do not expect everyone to love what you wear. Do not expect you put on an outfit, everybody gonna love it. The girls who get it, and the girls who don't, just don't.
Okay,
right?
guys, so I have
It's
a question.
taste.
I have a question. So when we look at style in the music industry ecosystem, when we look at international acts, when they step out, their teams have made sure that they have a certain number of stylists that they work with, that their style is identified, and that this is carried throughout their career, that when their trajectories are set, then they continue to build out who the artist is. So if we look at people like Janet Jackson, we would have seen Janet at age 16, then we would have seen the evolution of Janet to age 20-something, then the evolution of, if we look at a Whitney Houston, and I know I'm calling older names, if we look at an Usher and we see the evolution of. Question, therefore, for the panel is, how do we in Jamaica and the Caribbean move to strategizing how we will push out our artists? So we've looked at a number of issues at this conference and how can we be more solution driven. So I'm asking particularly Novia and Cinta Shea, how will we as a Jamaican industry and as a Caribbean industry strategize to take us to the place of style that we need to be at?
Good morning.
Thank you for that. I just want to say something to say something to Earl, that actually the price of our designs have gone down from where they used to be. right? But there's a strong legacy that we have in Jamaica in terms of tailors and designers, right? Madame Carvan used to come to Jamaica. Our designers, Flossie Thomas, Buchanan, Francis Keane, they have shown in Paris. And their designs fetched top dollar. In terms of the strategy, first and foremost, choose the best. If you work with the best, you will look good. So you have to choose the best. You have to also document. We're not very good at documenting here, right? I mean, we do try our best, but we have to document, and we have to be willing. Our schools, and I'm happy that you asked the question. Yes, there are so many places that Kenya called, but Edna Manley College is where everything ought to be. That's where it ought to start. That's where it ought to start. And I'm sorry, the disappointment that I feel sometimes, shoot me here, throw things at me, but we're not ready. We're not serious. We are not serious, and we are not honest either. And when you're honest, you get booed and you get this. And we have to be honest. Where, as I said, we are coming from. King Street used to be the capital. It used to be equivalent to Paris, New York, London, right? So where are we now? We have moved back. Instead of moving forward, we have moved back. We really have. In terms of our finish, right? Not everybody's a designer. Throwing cloth on people does not a designer make, right? I am wearing a Jamaican designer based in Toronto, Greta Constantine. I'm carrying a Jamaican handbag, right? I choose what I wear and what I buy because of the finish, the look. We've got to document. We've got to be serious about who we are. If I go to the Edna Manley College right now and ask for the Angels' journey through fashion, it's not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I dare say, if I go to the BBC, they'd find it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Yes. Again, it starts with us.
We have got to, I don't want to get started because it's time to finish, but we have got to be serious, and we are not serious. Everybody has our archives, whether it's our musicians or whatever, they all know who we are. If you look at the fashions that went to the United Kingdom from Jamaica, the Windrush, the tailors were from here. The tailors suited our aunts, uncles, parents, and put them on the boat. And they went to the United Kingdom and taught the British how to dress. So we have moved backwards. We are not serious. We have very few archives. The National Gallery, where are the archives? Where is, Flossie Thomas's retrospect? We go to New York and we look for Gucci, we look for Prada. Where's ours? Great designers came from here. Where's the proof? 100 years from now, there'll be nothing.
That's why this conversation is so important. So again, thank you to the Island Music Conference. To answer the question, the strategy really begins with the artist and his why, and then his team being exposed to the mainstream music industry through the Hot Shot Project, and with that, I was exposed to what a team was. So the record label puts together a team with an A&R, with you have your manager, you have your road manager. I think I see Paul Lee in the audience. He can speak to this as Shaggy's tour manager. When you put together a team, your stylist is involved, your makeup artist is involved, the creative director is involved. So the strategy really has to come from putting together a proper team, sitting down and figuring out what that why is. When you're going out there, if you're new and you're about to put out an album, what is the album about? What's the album messaging, right? And then what's the looks behind it? And it can't be just the artist. It has to be everybody. It's a collective. A community needs to be built around this. So that's the strategy that we need to be fostered here. And that's why the Island Music Conference is so important. So as an artist, you need a team and not your brethren. You need somebody that understands the business of music, that understands the business of fashion. So that's where we have to start first, is putting together a proper team. And again, I go back to education. Can you imagine all that, what Novia just said? And I didn't even know this about King Street. I had no idea. We have to do better, but again, the conversation starts now. And I will ask everybody here and those in the room, let's keep the conversation going.
And
I want to keep the conversation
Just the conversation.
going.
I think
And
we
the
talk
action.
a lot, but let's get that, the action.
Yeah.
It's the action.
Yeah.
And what Novia alluded to in terms of the genesis, it has to begin with Edna Manley as the art school. And the Designers Guild, we noted that in 2010 when we launched, and our first major project was to fund a fashion design facility at Edna Manley College. They were offering a fashion program with only 2 sewing machines. Students had to travel down to Garmex to do their sewing courses, and it wasn't acceptable. And we got corporate funding through the Designers Guild to equip the facilities so that they could have more students learning all the areas of fashion in one place, not just art history and fashion theory and so forth. And the internal politics at that institution immediately killed what we were trying to do. And it was disheartening to see the fashion department that we built, millions of dollars, chucked up in storage 1 year later because one person at that institution decided that this room is for sculpture. And that sculpture room was serving 2 students versus 28 fashion students who needed that room. And the internal politics, the lack of vision that we have in Jamaica is what is holding us back. People are trying to do things, and we have the strategy, but it's hard to find the institutions to work with. And that's why the Designers Guild, we shifted and went to the University of Technology, because they understand the vision. They don't have the art history and so forth, but technically, they understand the vision of why we need to train our designers. We can't have everybody being self-taught. I was self-taught until I went to London to study. And when I went to university in London, when I went to Central St. Martin to study, so many of my lecturers and tutors said, when I told them I was from Jamaica, I was astonished. About 3 of them said, Jamaica has the best seamstresses in the world. We don't have it anymore. Them gone. Cayman take a majority of them. A lot of them are in the UK. When my sister was fitting wedding dresses, in a little hole in the corner, when you're in a bridal gown shop, a seamstress from Clarendon waving, I hear your accent, I'm from Jamaica. There's so many Jamaicans working all over the world, and they're the best at what they do. We don't have them here anymore because we're not training them, and that's why we're doing this program, to train them, because we have the talent.
Well, if you don't know your history, we will perish. It's very simple.
You will perish if you don't.
We have a strong history of fashion that we do not know. We've not built on that history. Betsy Johnson, seamstress, is a Jamaican.
Exactly. There's so many designers in the UK right now. Their head seamstress is a Jamaican. Jamaican. When you look at Kay Davitian, who worked with Mission Catwalk, she was the head of quality control for Ralph Lauren and Jones New York, and she's Jamaican. Yes. So at the end of the day, we have the talent here, we have the potential here. We just need people to see the vision and collaborate and understand the vision.
Let me add before we wrap up real quick. I could marry Novia right now for talking about archiving. Listen.
Yes, so important.
Listen. I promise you a ring. I'm going to give it to you. Guys, especially stylists and designers, please, 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 a lot of your work, please archive them. Like, get them back, put them in storage. Listen, I'm obsessed with Dancehall Queen Carleen. Obsessed.
Yes.
If she had...
Yes.
If she...
Yes,
listen, if she had her archives, nobody could have chat to her.
Yep.
There could be a museum.
Yep.
Listen, she is like
a billionaire.
Before Lila Kim, before all of them, she's that girl.
Yeah.
And she still is.
Yes,
she's
yes.
that
The
girl.
reference point.
Yes.
Listen,
The reference point.
Listen, I'm obsessed with her. So now what I do as a stylist, when I style Beanie, when I style any artist who I feel like, you know, like that look or that moment was important, I archive. I have Beanie's look that he wore when I styled him in the ID magazine. I have that archived. It's very important. Even Bogle, if Bogle had people around him, I was like, you know what, let me archive some of these pieces.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
like,
yes.
So I'm trying to do that now with a lot of my clients. And you know what really, really, really disappointed me? When Lee Scratch Perry died. Listen, when Lee Scratch Perry died,
Believe me, that
there was not one proper photograph by a Jamaican photographer being circulated on the internet or all over the media. Everything is from another magazine overseas.
Yes. Yeah.
And that pushed me to do my icons issue, where I'm shooting these icons and giving them their flowers. And from that, so for God forbid, but a lot of people are dead no time soon, you know. But when they do pass, we have visuals and imagery of them by Jamaican makeup artists, photographed by Jamaican photographers, styled by Jamaican stylists, that can be used and catapulted onto the internet when, God forbid, when they die. We have to take these things seriously. We need to record and document our history, and we're stuck in the 90s. When people think about Jamaica, it's always the 90s.
Yes.
Always the 90s. It's never given after the 90s. We need to give after the 90s. Like, we have to cement our generation and our culture past the 90s. The only thing we have
90s was special.
visually effective or identifiable after the 90s is the early 2000s Sean Paul era. That's it. Everybody wanted to Give Me the Light video. Rihanna copied, Beyonce copied. All of that. We need to take our culture seriously, and we need to not just be like, you know, make it a Louis Vuitton jacket, but it's not even real Louis Vuitton more of the time. 50 years in the closet. Have a plan or legacy, not only for their legacy, but our legacy as creatives, as stylists. I want my kids, and their kids to see my work eventually at a museum or have photographs of that. It's very important. Please take that seriously.
That's where the money is.
That's where the money is.
Yeah.
So true. Before we go to the next question, I spot a celebrity in the audience. Naomi Cowan, could you please stand for us? And I want you to grab
the
that
cargo
mic
skirt
from Mateo. Borrow that mic from Mateo 1 second for me. And I want you to tell us about some of the stylists and designers that you work with locally and your experience. Just give us a short thing. You look fabulous, by the way.
Sure, me? Oops, okay.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Give us a breaking story first.
It's so funny. So today, as I've been listening and reflecting on what everybody shared, a very specific story just came to mind. A bit of a testimony is what I would say about the key of being yourself, the key of staying true to your style, and it actually involves Ayana. So my belly kind of I feel butterflies talking about this. But this is a win for me. So March of last year, I get a message from Walshy Fire, who I did a project with. He said, hey, Shaggy wants you to come to Miami to the studio. I was like, okay. I just booked the ticket. I hadn't heard a track. I hadn't heard a song. He just said, Shaggy called me, asked me when you were free. Can you make it? So I did it. So we get to the studio. I'll know I don't hear the song. We're just eating, drinking, getting to know each other. Now, I've known Shaggy from a distance my entire life, and we actually have the same birthday, but we've never really spent time together. Yes, 22nd. If you guys want to go look me up, that's fine. But so anyway, I said to him, so I basically asked him, why did you invite me here? I haven't heard the song. And he told me what he was working on and everything. And he said, there's a video you have that I saw a different light. I saw you in a different light. He said, we wanted a young, upcoming artist on this project, Ray. And he said, but you looked international. And I said, which video is that? And he said, the one with the whole heap of lights on the house. So there's a single I dropped called Energy. And it's so funny. I feel like my mom. I'm about to preach to you guys. But it's so funny. When I recorded that song in 2019 with Izzy Beats, so that's Izzy, are you kidding me? He pushed me out of my comfort zone. After I recorded the song, my brother was like, me never hear her like this before. Everybody in the house was just so shocked. And I had friends within the industry say, Naomi, just sell that song to Rihanna. It's too pop. No bother with that. Everybody just wants our next Paradise Plum, Ray, whatever. But I've really felt strongly about the song, and it's a fire song, if I must say so myself. Now, the video probably has over 100K views, which is, for me, once again, that's decent, but not necessarily in the millions, and it don't matter. But the fact is, Shaggy saw it, and that the styling and the director, who was Kia Moses, big her up wherever she is, she was breastfeeding on set, shared the vision with Ayana and I, and said, I want her to look futuristic. I want, like, her ideas are always way out of the box, but there's no such thing as way out of the box. And it was all out of pocket, right, Ayana? So we made the first piece We made the first piece, and the second piece I bought it in halfway through. It was a bodysuit. We just customized it to my body. Yeah, and then my hair now, it was blonde, and I didn't dye it. So what we did was we bought the gold hair wax. That once you put, it's like there's gold, there's blue, there's all these colors. So we did a big ponytail, and I used braid hair. My braid lady crocheted it in, so it wasn't no human hair, it wasn't no $1,000 weave. It was literally a pack of Expressions number 27. You see me? And yeah, because I'm fully independent, and that was all out of my pocket. And I said that to say, no matter what happens with that song with Shaggy, not sure what he's doing with it, but that moment, sitting with a diamond-selling artist from Jamaica, knowing that a Jamaican-led music video, the styling, the vision, the song itself, allowed me in a room with him where he had I had his ear and eye, not because of who my parents are, but because of what I've built, was a big win. Yeah, so if you're an artist, please, you see this little part right here? This is your gut, this is, your sacral chakra, whatever you want to call it, but this part of you is so important in this journey, because the more I followed it, oh gosh, the more, some beautiful things are happening and have happened as a result of that. And Ayana, big up yourself and everybody here on the platform.
Thank you, Naomi. We have a microphone roaming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I was invited to the conference by Rassi. We've been coming from a long way back, from Big Yard days where So when I hear about the Island Music Conference, I was very enthused. And I wasn't surprised when Mr. Borrell was involved, because he's always this type of person when it comes to charity and when it comes to enhancing whatever music or whatever. But one of the questions, I'm going to speak from a personal experience as an entertainer. When it comes to designers, this one, the question was thrown, and why some people are turned off going to designers. Like, for instance, me did have one look at song 2013, Len called me and booked me for Sting. Someone look different and reach out to a designer and say, Jack, I want to look a suit. You get what I mean? I say, he didn't say no. He took the job, but guess what? He had some very important clients, like some big name. So every time I call and say, what the suit, or for the suit reach, yeah man, you'll get it, but remember say no. I don't mean that work, I do nothing, and you get what I say? And then now, you know what I have to do? I have to run into the store and get something from the store for gas thing, because I have to go to the people them show. You get what I say? So take note of that. I'm not saying any of you guys on the panel are of that nature. We know that. But I'm saying, I'm saying from my experience, I reach out to a designer to get me something for a very important occasion, and it never materializes. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's something you guys need to sort out among yourselves in the future.
I think that person
That's like any other profession. You have people who aren't professional.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just what it is. It's just really what it is. Me not trust furniture, man. Just as how people don't trust designers, But you just have to understand that you have to. It's finding people who get your vision and who will execute your vision is a part of the process. Mm-hmm. You can't escape that. You're going to go to a store, they might take long to serve. You go to a restaurant, they take long to serve. Find that restaurant or that designer who takes their work very seriously and will deliver what they need to deliver to you.
Yeah,
it's true.
Carlton will deliver.
And also, I would say that, it goes back to what we said earlier, the professionalism of the industry.
Yeah,
we've got to be professional. If you're unable to deliver, communicate.
Yeah. Let me tell you one thing.
That's important. If the designer had said to this gentleman that I can't, then he wouldn't be at the hour, crunch time, waiting for the suit, and he had to pick it up. Also, designers as well, here we go again, designers, seamstresses, so important to fit. This thing about, I know what you look like, I know size. The fit is so important. Again, it's called being a professional. I heard Carlton speaking about dressing budget for the show the other day, and I mean, you have to be cognizant of the person's movement on stage. If the person is moving a lot, you've got to ensure that the seams don't bust out in the middle
And
of the show.
trust me, with Bojo, it have to
right?
correct
So
it.
it's, you know, it's just really, we just have to, you know, with everything, again, I go back to what I preach daily. You cannot just go to bed and wake up. You've got to put in the work.
Yes.
It's very
important.
simple.
You know, and to the brethren, I just talk a while ago. I've been to a lot of shows and all the time. And there's sometimes artists come to me, yo, you know, some call you that they ask if you do a thing for me, I say I couldn't do it, but yo, I respect it. Because I say no. Because integrity is important. Integrity is important. It don't make no sense to say yes and 2 days before is a no. Because what you do, you leave that client, you leave that client one stress out, two, you basically take out 4 days of that person going elsewhere, right? On the night or that you can't do it. So for me, I quicker to say no, right, and stick to what I know with the few I have already. And it happens every year because every Sumfest it happens, you know, even I remember one year with Shaggy and friends, right? Not because they are Shaggy, I tell you it go, right? One year Shaggy and friends, I was dressing Shaggy for that, and I got 4 calls. Because I never had Shaggy dealing with it, I just one more I took, right? So I'd rather lose that, right, and maintain and keep my integrity with Shaggy and the other client. And I did it, right? Because at the end of the day, no more, there's some clients, they don't come to you, you have to go to them. It's a part of the business. It's just a part of it, right? And until these designers and seamstresses understand, say, you are not the star, don't forget it, right? It's you want the work. They have choices, right? Now, until some of them realize that, right? We're going to see a difference in every aspect of the industry.
First of all, I want to say something. This is probably the best looking panel I ever see since I've been
I thought to myself, Shaggy. I thought to myself. Remember, Shaggy.
Why I walk in at this place, I look like a fashion show. I look what me dress today. I told them I should dress up, you know. Me dress like one farmer man today. In my farmer shirt today, if me did ever even look and say, I would have come with a piece of boast in this in the night. First of all, thank you all very much. I just want to add to the point a little bit. When I talk about seam about so some of the artists them for understand say if you ease off for the flour dumpling sometimes too. Them can't work miracle. Me am 54 and me have a very harsh regimen to me get up from 6:30 in the morning and I go work out and I go do my thing and see? And time I come back to Jamaica, my backslide though because the Jamaican comfort food and the dumpling thing is a wicked thing to your body. And as you get up in age also, everything becomes harder when you're working out. You don't shed it as quick as possible. Next thing also, I'm going to do it quick, I know some have to look at that question, is the big problem I find with stylists, and I've been through a few of them, I have the same one now for probably around 17, 18 years, which is Maisha Long. She started with me as Maisha, as an assistant stylist. She now styles LL Cool J and a whole bunch of other people. She did them for the Grammys that you just watched recently, and she dressed me for the runway, for the red carpet recently. And the reason why she was the assistant to the stylist that I got in probably right after Hot Shot around that time. And the stylist that she was, I won't name her, but she was a very big stylist, styles a lot of big stars. But what I realized with that big stylist, she was telling me what she think I should wear. She doesn't understand that what I'm putting on is supposed to help me feel confident.
Yes.
There's a confidence that comes with when you put on a new shirt. You know, you could have a expensive Versace shirt or J. Lindbergh shirt or one of them damn shirt there. And if you wear it 4 or 5 times, if a man give you a brand new, give you a T-shirt just because it's new, you're going to wear it better. Because it's new. Because when you put on a new T-shirt, even though the next one expensive, and it's hot, you get tired of it. And you'll start look by yourself and you say, boy, I know something look so hot again. But you give something new, even if it's just a cheaper shirt, you feel new. That's part of the confidence. It's like you put on something flowery or colorful, you walk out, it changes your mood, the color of it. Then if you put on something and just droop it on after, you don't feel as, as confident and up as you normally do. And when you're taking on music and life, you're going out there, you're representing it, you're standing, you got to put your best face. You can't walk so, you walk so. And you put your head up and you step in like you the shit. You know what I mean? And so you got to put that on to feel it like that. So a lot of stylists don't buy into that. They have something that they look on a mood board or something like that and feel like, say, yeah, man, this I got bad. But the artist, because you can put something where you think bad on, and just the confidence of the artist is so broke that it look terrible on a red carpet. Because they might go like, yeah, man.
It's collaboration.
Right? So most of the time, but them have to really feel into what the artist and see what that style is. And so we don't take style. Everybody get up and say them want on stylist tomorrow morning because they feel like them can dress or make clothes. And so it go. It's almost like a manager. You got to feel that person and buy into that person's lifestyle and who that is and give put forward the best person the best him there or she there is. Right? Just so that's it.
Love that.
Miss Lady in the Stripes. Oh, that's Jamila. Oh, no, not Jamila. She look like Jamila. Sorry.
To reply to that, I always say I attack the head first before the closet. I go through your Instagram. If I'm standing for the first time, I go through your Instagram to see what you like to wear, what you could wear, because there's a thin line between giving you what you're comfortable in and what you love and trying to take you out of your comfort zone. That's another thing. So as a stylist, I struggle with that because sometimes I have these dope ideas that I know for a fact that you could rock or your body type would look great in, but what holds me back is that you don't have the conviction to pull that off. And that's another big thing too. Because Rihanna wears some really crazy stuff, but you'll never know if she doesn't like it because her conviction is so bold in it, she pulls it off. That's very important. But I always say I have to have a conversation with the client to find out what you like, what body parts you hate, what you don't, the colors you don't like, the prints you don't like. That is very important. It's a relationship. It's a conversation. As a stylist, you're not just coming in only when you get a call. You're supposed to be watching your client, studying your client, what they like, what they don't like. On stage, all them love, being in my love kick up in foot. So I have to make sure that pants is sturdy. Very, very sturdy. And very movable too. So you have to take those things into consideration. It's very much a relationship. It's not just, I'm going to slap on something and leave. You have to just ask these people, and if just pay attention. Because when you pay attention, you learn a lot. And you have to study your client and know your client. And that's about it.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Joby J. I'm a recording artist. Big up Naomi, I love your girl. So my question is, as a pretty new artist, figuring out personal style and all of that stuff, I've heard people say that if you're an artist and you have a style, your style can fit anywhere. So it doesn't matter the occasion, you can just keep the style. But how do you know to adjust your style to fit an occasion? For example, if your style is denim, are you gonna wear denim to an award show or a performance?
Yes.
So I know it can work, but I'm just trying to figure out how do you know when to adjust your style to fit the occasion, but still be true to yourself. I hope that makes sense.
That is the old. Okay.
Whatever I show up in is the dress code. That's how I look at things. I'm the time and the place when I arrive. That's me. I don't know about nobody else, but that's me. But you have to, if you're a denim girl, there are so many things that you can do in denim. It comes again with experimenting and just looking at references and seeing what you like and don't like. Because if you're gonna show up in a cocktail dress where 50 people have from the Half a Tree store, as an artist, you're not going to make an impact. No shit, because I love my Half a Tree stores.
Yeah.
You get me? But I'm just saying, you have to make an impact. So if you get that dress, what are you going to do? I love denim. Let me pair some denim boots with that dress. Let me pair a denim choker. Let me pair something. You know what I mean? You have to just customize your look to your personal style. Because you can have the blandest T-shirt, and what you put on it, a brooch, you get a neck scarf, a hat, something. You have to just customize your outfit, and it can fit in anywhere. But don't ever follow the dress code too much. I'm sorry, Novia. Don't ever follow the dress code too much. You sometimes just have to go against the grain and just do what you have to do to make an impact, especially if you're an artist. Well-behaved people don't make history.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angeli, and it's interesting. I have to agree with Matteo 100% on what he spoke about, and Shaggy, because I think what's happening a lot, and that's probably what's happening to Trudy with an I, is we need to, people, you need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to be confident in who you are, and you cannot allow Instagram or what's of the moment to dictate who you are. Because if you are not comfortable, you are stepping out in fear. You're stepping out in fear, and you're stepping out in discomfort because you are doing something that is not you. Everybody needs to stay in their lanes. So as individuals, as artists, and as designers, it is important for all of us to recognize our style, our aesthetic, and stick to that. My sister was in fashion, Drena Luna. I was her spokesperson for many years, for the length of the brand. And if Coffee's manager called us one day and said, boy, we want you to dress Coffee for the Grammys, we would honestly say, why would we dress Coffee for the Grammys? Because Coffee is not our brand. Right. I would send Coffee to Carlton. And I see it all the time where Coffee will post and people will comment on their post. Then can't put her in a one frock. Why? Why would myself or Kenya dress, or Pebbles dress Coffee? That is not who Coffee is. Yeah. And the perfect example is, I remember the first time I ever saw Cardi B. I was like, who is this girl? They dressed her in a Zac Posen gown for the, that yearly,
Met Gala?
The Met Gala. And the dress wore Cardi B. And it was so obvious from the morning. Every picture I saw of her, she was so uncomfortable because it was not her. Cardi B is the skin and the breast and the bottom and the sexy. That's who she was. But she was new, and somebody said, oh, Zac Posen is of the moment. Let's put her in Zac Posen. It was just not her. Same thing with designers. They are dressing people all over the place. Nobody can identify. Nobody can just look at your brand and know that that is you. You know a Kenya Linton dress. You know a Drena Luna. You know a Carlton Brown. And it's the same way you know Sean Paul's style. He was the mohawk. He was always the glasses. Different, 100 different glasses. But that was him. Shaggy is an easy style. Protégé is his style. Why are we going to dress them in things that don't suit them? And it's the same thing as individuals we do it. You have to know who you are, and you cannot step out and convince anyone that you're anything other than who you are if you're not a Matteo. If me is Matteo, why would I give Matteo polka dot or stripe or floral? It's just not his silhouette. And the style it's interesting. As much as I admire your creativity, Nico, you couldn't style me. Like, why would I come to you just because you're of the moment? You're not suited to my style or my aesthetic. And the sooner we know that Naomi is authentic, the sooner we know that you don't see people going all over the place, that is really the essence of it. So what you need to do as individuals and as artists is find the person that is suited to you.
Yes.
And that, as Shaggy has done with his assistant, now primary stylist, because she is suited to him. She knows him, and she dresses him for him. So that is actually the essence of it.
Yes,
and I, even though Nico's going to marry me and we'll have separate wings, I just want to say to the young lady, what's your name? Jody?
Jody J.
Jody. Oh, Joby. Joby. I just want to say to Joby, I dare say, and I asked Shaggy to contradict me, even Shaggy adheres to a dress code. Okay? Now, when you become the room, then you can do your own thing, right? Sure. Now, you're an up-and-coming artist, right? So, of course, find your signature, find your look. Always have somebody take a photo of what you're wearing and your entire look and see how it translates, because don't forget that photo is going to be taken. How are you going to look? How are you going to be received by your audience? So, oftentimes, artists will show up at events and they don't look the part, right? I mean, you have to look as if you belong there. That, I think, is very, very important. So, yes, you can listen to Nico when you are Rihanna and you are the room. When you are the room, you can, right? But I think it's important, find your look, take some photos, take a look at, see how it translates, because that's also important.
And if a designer says no to you, don't be offended.
Right.
Sometimes it's for your own good. Because I've said no to artists before, and they say, you know, you're a snob, you think you're better than me. And I'm just like, no, it's just it's like choosing a lover. If the energy not there, if the chemistry not there, it's just you're forcing it, you know? Just find somebody who is your match, and everybody will be happy, and don't be
goes
offended.
for stylists as well. That's
Exactly.
very important.
Exactly. I love Ayana, but I wouldn't go to Ayana to style me because I'm not wearing sneakers. I'm not wearing Clarks. I'm wearing stilettos, and she don't have time for
but
that.
then again, not because Ayana wears that doesn't
And
mean
she's
she
a
can't
damn
get
good
your
stylist,
style.
you know? But it's not the aesthetic that I go for, and she knows that. She
Right.
respects me, I respect her, and there's no offense. You just
You
have to
look
know
good,
who you
though.
match.
You look good.
You look good too.
Hi. I heard about everyone talking about Vogue, and everybody is promoting, you know, that magazine. Over here, Mr. Nico, to your right. Yes. I'm from Ebony magazine, and so
Yes, I love the last
Hello.
cover.
Love the look, love the look.
Yes. Thank you. No. No, I'm okay. Part of the thing that I keep hearing is like cohesion, right? And so you guys have your own brand here. Ebony's tagline is moving black forward. We're trying to get everything, and we're just gonna take all of us in this room, keep on pushing forward, right? So I know that Sin actually said something that was actually one of the biggest things that happened today, which is we need community, right? We also need cohesion. We need to work together. And then Mateo's point was, you have to be nice. Because in Jamaica, I'm being honest, I'm Trinidad, you know, y'all are not nice. So there's also that. If you don't know someone, you don't give them the respect. Right? If you can't place me, I don't matter.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. So my question, I don't want to do a running tag or whatever. The question would be, going forward, how do we, as a community, now bring Jamaica to the world to move that forward, number one? What are the next steps? Because everyone talks about it, but how are we going to be about it? And Ebony Caribbean is coming, so.
Woo!
Yes!
So I do want to know.
I'll take that Janelle, that question. How do we start? It starts right here. The coming to these events and networking and being kind. I've been in rooms because I am not Jamaican and I'm coming into Jamaica where people just shun me. But you have no idea who I am or how I can help you or how you can help me. So we have to be kinder, as Mateo said. And we really have to work together. It comes down to collaboration and community and speaking, guys, and networking. So because I'm on this panel, somebody's not going to come up to me. Or because Shaggy's there and he's a superstar, nobody's going to approach him. But we have to approach each other. We have to speak to one another. We have to network with each other. This conversation shouldn't end when we leave these four walls. It should be a continuous one. And I applaud Ebony for coming to the Caribbean. That's a big deal. There's no reason as to why all these publications, although we do have our own publications here, Ebony, let's recognize that. But it's important that that it's important that you realize or recognize the importance of the Caribbean and the importance of what we do here in a boots on ground for the mainstream. So again, it starts with being kind, collaborating, and speaking and talking and sharing. Like, guys, when is the next time we're going to have this event? Or are we going to have I'd love to schedule a meeting where we can all sit down and see how we can move this forward.
Now, talking about our culture for a second, when you say, I think where fashion is concerned, this little island has had an impact on global culture.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Let us face it, that what Rihanna is doing,
and about to do today.
Okay, yes. And what Lady Gaga has done.
Grace Jones.
What you say, that's Grace Jones.
Yeah. Yes.
Everything starts from Grace Jones.
Yes.
I remember one time I had a conversation with Grace when Lady Gaga was at the peak and she was saying, what? Oh. Well, Lady Gaga was at her peak, and she idolized Grace Jones, wanted to do a record with Grace Jones. It got so bad that they contacted me because I was so friendly with Grace Jones. And I went to Grace, and I said, Grace, come now, what the rest you going just, just do the song. The woman is the biggest superstar in the world. Do something for her, come to the tune with her. See how much millions of records she sell. And Grace Jones says, inspire me.
Inspire me.
Inspire me.
Inspire me?
She says, inspire me. So basically, she's saying that even though Lady Gaga is the biggest thing in the world and she have the place, where she do, thank you, where Lady Gaga do already, Grace Jones has said she's not inspired to do a collaboration, right? Because she don't feel like there's anything she's doing that was different from what she has already done. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's for sure just how bossy Jamaican people is. Because
Very.
all of them don't do the collaboration 10 times already. But that's what makes Grace, and what makes Grace a fashion icon to this day, and a legend in the game. And everything really starts from this island. Bar where nobody said.
Yes.
That's why we're doing this, and that's why we
that.
should protect what it is. And you guys, the newer generation, has big shoes to fill, right? And we need to actually step up. We're gonna have to go stop this now because Judith is screaming at me about time. But I'd love you to give a warm round of applause to our panel. And I would like to say, applaud on yourself for coming out on a Sunday. Make me feel good. We just had something that we're going to do. I think Kimani is not going to make it, right? He had to jump on a flight. But what we're going to do is this. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, so I will be here to fill in for Kimani for any questions, and we can have some conversation on topics and everywhere. Let's take a 10-minute break downstairs for some refreshments and go upstairs. Once you go outside and go upstairs, they're like, the star people. Buy some things, support our local vendors as much as you can. And, we'll be back here in 10 minutes. All right? Thank you very much. Thanks to our panel again.
Thank you.